Did you flagellate?
Probably my breath.
No, it's not. Do you know what my house smells like right now? Curry. I don't know why. We had fettuccine Alfredo, we had fettuccine Alfredo, and I tried to make these fried raviolis in the air fryer, and somehow out of all of that comes the smell of curry. Sean says that's not a bad thing. I hate the smell of curry.
It's not a bad thing though, babe.
I hate the smell of curry. Anyways,
okay,
you guys.
Hold on. Let me see if this works right.
Of course it works. It's a new phone. Right? It's a new phone.
Guys, I waited too long. I didn't back my old phone up, so
Back
I have to go from scratch. Back that ass.
But that's how we started with it the other day, was back it up.
If Let It Go is in here, she knows what I mean.
She will be.
Yep.
She'll be here.
Mandy didn't know what back that ass up means, or back it up.
I don't know what it means. I didn't know what it means. I mean, you've said it to me before, like...
Hey, Whiplash, stay
but
Justine.
I didn't know, like...
I showed her.
It's so crazy. So tomorrow I get my hair done, but in the meantime, I found this at Hobby Lobby. I love these, like, tattered hats. That's, like, such a thing, like... this is my favorite hat. I just got it a few days ago. But when they look tattered, I think that looks cool, don't you?
It is. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
thing.
Hey, Lisa, how are y'all? Do y'all like curry? I'm curious who likes curry and who doesn't. Sean likes red curry.
Or Massaman curry. Either one. So, I might be talking a little weird because this ear is full of water.
But I don't think it is, Sean. I think that you might be getting an ear infection. The water would have made its way out. It doesn't happen all the time.
Maybe I'm going deaf completely.
That's true. That's your... Hey, Levi, how are you?
But it only happened when I got out of the shower.
He doesn't believe me that you can dump a cap full of rubbing alcohol straight into your ear to dry it out. He says it'll go to his brain. You've never had curry? Yes. I've never eaten it because I can't stand the smell
Lisa, Warrior
of it.
Queen, says green curry is her favorite. I like red, but green is good.
Who likes yellow?
Red or green? Yellow.
He's like, and by the way, get the hell out of here.
You get the hell out of my house.
Anyways.
It's a last-ditch effort to get my wife back, he said, right?
I guess it was Hello Fresh, right?
Yeah.
And it was just before we moved, and he was like, I want to show you this. And I was looking at it and whatever. Peroxide will work too. Okay.
Hey, Mayor's daughter.
I believe that's what my brother-in-law used to put in my ear after we went swimming.
The thing about it is, like, whenever we would go over there, we were talking about her ex-husband's house. And I would feel awkward at first, and I was like, why do you feel awkward? You got the girl. And I was like, yeah, you know. I know that's kind of mean, but that was kind of an ego thing.
When he was showing me the Hello Fresh, because at that point it was all said and done, and so he was showing me, and I was looking at the binder, and of course Sean's like, oh no, you're not going to be just talking curry.
I'm over there playing with the dog, you know.
The dog
and
really
I'm like,
liked Sean.
You know.
Anyway.
When I first came face to face with him, I saw the dog first. Remember that?
I do remember that. But hey, Betty Crocker, I can't stay. Just wanted to wish happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, guys. I've been home from work about, what, an hour?
Something like that.
It was a late night.
You know, this doesn't normally happen. Look, I'm going to reveal a weakness. But I was a little nostalgic today, thinking about when the kiddos were little, and there comes a time when that chaos is done. You know, and you realize it was chaos, but it was a whole lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then I got Sean feeling nostalgic too, so we both kind of sat there.
We sat there. It's like, boy, we're glad to be away from our exes, but we love our kids.
And we do. And I said, I was telling my son, I was like, I sent a couple pictures of old Halloweens that I had, and I said, now you know that you're in the military, what it's like to only be paid on the 1st and 15th, and that Halloween falls on the 31st, and if it's not a payday weekend, I was like, and he goes, well, y'all always made it work, and I was like, yeah, we did, but I was telling Sean, I was making Sean laugh, I was like, if not, then you go, and you're like, you're gonna be strawberry shortcake, that's the only costume that's left. But I'm a boy. I don't care. Strawberry shortcake is
Nobody
cool.
can tell you like that. I saw it, Mayor's daughter. Thanks. We will. I'm going to, when I go to bed,
Jenny.
I'll put it in there and then kind of lay on my pillow.
But yeah, so I made him, it's like.
Hey, Megan.
There were lots of, I remember one year it was like, I dressed my daughter up as Blue's Clues I made some ears out of blue felt. And my son was going through a Steve stage where he wanted to wear only, he was little bitty. I have pictures. He had his Blues Clues notebook and he wore striped shirts every day and khaki pants. So I had to keep washing them. So I was like, score. He's Steve. I'm turning you into Blue. We got a costume.
We got costumes.
Yeah, it was
we did
cool.
it for like 99 cents.
Yeah. I was like, if not, you're going like, okay, maybe if I can write a check to Walmart, you know, and they don't put it through till tomorrow, but you know, it is what it is. But anyway, the time comes when Christmases get quiet and you get a little bit nostalgic.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I'll be at work. But, yeah.
Have you tried this one?
Yeah, I did. It's good. It's kind of like
Have y'all tried the winter edition Red Bull?
it's some kind of a melon-like thing, isn't it?
It says fig apple.
Wow.
Red Bull, go Red Bull. You getting fancy with your bad self.
So who got their Powerball tickets for tonight? It's $1 billion, the drawing. We got ours, babe.
Trisha Paytas got hers. She was talking about it today.
I got mine.
Trisha Paytas.
We got ours.
Do we have one? Sean is a grandfather.
I am a grandfather. I have 2 grandsons. One's named Sean, and one is named, what's my other one's name? Dante.
Dante. Like Dante's Inferno. Or...
Yes.
So, but yeah, I'm not. My son's married, but no kiddos yet. They got a puppy, and apparently that's taking up all their time. They bought a golden retriever puppy. Cute as it can be.
Yep.
And they're taking the time to train it right and to take it out and everything. So he's like, we're super busy with the dog. And I'm like, that's the way it's supposed to be with a puppy. You stick it out.
So I wanted to start. You guys know that I work at the post office by now because talked a couple of times or whatever. So last night we're talking about how hard it is as we get, you know, there's two big deals going on. Number one, we're getting closer to the holidays, and you know, the post office is crazy during the holidays. After Thanksgiving until about the 15th of January, it's a zoo. It's a lot of hours. It's a really good paycheck, but I don't get to enjoy Christmas quite as much as some of y'all, and I don't get as much time with Mandi because that's where I work, and it's crazy. And the other thing is our human resources is really bad. So, and it's throughout the post office. They can't seem to fill jobs. The last person, when she quit, it was a month ago, and they haven't got the replacement yet. So,
human resources struggle. They always pinch Sean's butt. They don't do anything about that either. He keeps complaining that everybody pinches your butt.
I know, I hate that.
You go to human resources, and they're like, "Oh, but it's a cute butt." And
yeah,
you're like,
I'm
anyway,
not a piece of meat. I'm not a piece of meat.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, and then the third thing is the times we're in with hiring and this and that. So last night, right near Chattanooga on the border of, you know, Georgia and Tennessee, I don't know if you can look it up, there was a shooting where a postal worker shot and killed his supervisor. And so that was kind of rippling through the post office, you know, today. And that sucks. It was about 10:30 at night. So for whatever reason, they were still at work at 10:30 on a Sunday. And
did any of you hear about it? I was
you can
curious.
Look it up. You can Google it.
I was curious, like, what the background is of the person that did it. You've been at work late before, but you've never been there at 10:30 at night. But maybe
like 8:30.
But bigger
8:30.
post offices probably are.
Either that or really short-handed ones.
Yeah.
But so that's
isn't that crazy?
That's bad. But that's what happened.
Is anybody doing anything for Halloween other than handing out candy? We don't have any trick-or-treaters that come here. Karen is no doubt handing out candy. Her neighbors had like outdone her. One bought like 1,100 candy bars or something.
Don't they say they have like 400 people that come through?
Something like that. So she was weighing the things. She said, should we do 1 piece of candy a piece and then whatever, or do 3 pieces of candy, and when it's out, just shut the light off and close the door. I was like, early bird gets the worm. You give them 3 pieces of candy, and when you're out, you're out. And so that's how it works.
Karen sat down and churned out the taffy that she, you know.
Oh yeah, she made homemade. She even did
does.
caramel apples. So if someone wants a caramel apple,
she grew the apples out back.
No, but she did buy a lot of candy, and she was asking, and I was like, those kids that are motivated, man, they wait till 8 o'clock hits and they hit the road with their pillowcases. The ones that came by today were like probably pushing 14 or 15, and I was like,
Get
I said, if I had some candy, I'd give it to you, but My kids are too old now, and I live in the middle of nowhere. That makes
That's
sense.
us. So when I left work, it was about 7 or so when I left, and it was dark, and we were telling the people, and there was people that were going out with like expresses
pink
to
flag.
drop off expresses and stuff still. And that was one of the things is be very careful. Don't rush because there's little kids out.
See, and that's why I asked you, were they still out because they were going extra slow to make sure they didn't?
It's because it was a Monday and we suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My aunt and uncle used to do a blowout Halloween. Sean got the opportunity to see it one year. They're now older. This is the uncle that played baseball and got to see it in action. And this is the first year in years and years and years and years that they're not able to do it anymore. So that's kind of sad. And they always made bunches and bunches of pots of chili, and that was one of the things we did is go over there and eat chili. I'm finding out that that's a tradition with a lot of people.
Really?
Yeah. Trisha Paytas was saying that they're going to a Halloween party and having chili, and then they're going to another Halloween party and having some chili, and I was like,
that's a lot of chili.
Well, I'll be dang, that's apparently a tradition with a few people.
The cool thing about Mandy's uncle's party, like when you because you have your bags of candy and stuff, and you have your little pillowcases.
Go ahead.
My eBay auctions are going on right now. She's like, you won that.
You won that one. Go ahead.
You're getting your hair did tomorrow. So, when you go to the house and they have full-size candy bars and how cool that was. So when you go, because the family kind of is in the house, we're kind of hanging out, and then they're, they had boxes of candy bars back there.
I did. I said, you want to see what it looks like? Because you go in there and pick out what you want. That was part of
candy bars.
So I opened their thing, and I told you their house, they bought this house and furnished it when he was still a baseball player, and it's frozen in time.
Yeah, it's
so
very,
when you
very
walk
cool.
in, it's from the
60s.
late 60s, early 70s. So there's still kind of velvety wallpaper on the wall, and the California king bed with the velvet bedspread.
Yeah, there's
and stuff like that.
paneling in one of them.
Yeah, it's super cool, and she didn't want to change it. My aunt loves it like that. It represents a time when they were
Texas.
Yes.
So, are we allowed to talk about any drama?
You can talk about Lucy Ball.
Yeah.
So
you guys follow Lucy Ball or
our spirit finder?
Or Spirit? Oh, Tam.
What happened? Y'all probably heard Lucy Ball drug the hell out of Tammy a few times. It's kind of humorous, whatever. Well, Lucy Ball got stupid with Tammy, and Tammy went ahead and she read every single message.
Well, first of all,
they've been messaging for quite a while.
So Lucy Ball and Tammy have been on. They're friends, whatever, but
nobody knew it.
Nobody knew it, and so I guess for whatever reason, Lucy decided that she was gonna block Tam. And so Tam went ahead and disclosed all the friendly texts. And so that was quite not okay for some other people.
She might
in the
still
community.
be reading them, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
And so she got a dragon from a couple of streams from Randy. She gave her a couple
one wasn't good enough. She had to come. She did one stream and then came back later.
Isn't it crazy? The one thing that Sean and I always said, you never know who's actually talking behind the scenes. You never ever know.
You never know. But there's one thing is there's a few people that through the years, if you can say, now that one right there, and I'm not going to say any names, but y'all can think about it. That person has been in every group and flip-flopped around so much, you can't trust them.
Well, Lucy Ball's had me blocked for 3 years.
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying in particular. Even before I knew she
already had me blocked.
People can think of any name. Everybody knows somebody.
Yeah.
So.
And what Tam acts on is when she's hurt. And I think it hurt her.
I think a lot of people do that, though.
But anyway, they're both pieces of work. But yeah, that was surprising to me. I like to see costumes too. That's kind of why I wanted to see if your folks were handing out candy. But you said that neighborhood's mostly older people.
But so my parents have been there since 2000. So back then, 20 years ago, there was a lot of kids. But
He was gonna go eat the cat food, caught him.
Yeah.
Hey Presley, there she is.
Hey Presley.
I said I knew you were home today and you would have a chance to watch. I talked to her this morning and she sounded very like she was like, the morning was okay. Like it was off to a good start.
Cool.
So that was cool. Look at him. He's like, I wanted to go eat that.
Are you guys going to have the game on in the background or?
Is he chewing on it? Oh, your thing.
Game 3 of the
World Series.
Of the Astros and the Phillies.
The Astros seem to always be going to the World Series, but never leaving with the title.
Yeah, the American League is always got this sort of has the same teams there all the time, and then the National League kind of has different teams.
Yeah.
Like this year was the Phillies and the Padres. And then when you look at the American League, it's always the Astros, the Yankees, the Indians, now the Guardians.
Do you want to know what really, when I say this, Sean gets really up in arms, is beautiful, is when I say, I think a lot of sports are fixed to sway, like it's a production, it's a stage production, and they already know who they want to win, who they want to, and he's like, no.
I don't know about
I don't think so. Sometimes I wonder about football, though. I don't think they throw the games necessarily.
What about Jake Paul? He won again. He won his boxing match.
Hey, Val. Val, were you on Savage's costume panel yesterday? I was trying to place who everybody was, and I was like, were you Betty Bullhorn? Who was Betty Bullhorn? Or Bullhorn Betty? Because that one was like spot on.
Yeah.
It was really cute. She does it every year. I'm not sure who won, but Savage has had the costume contest every year that I can remember.
Does she still have her award show?
She has, not too long ago, I think she did. Remember last year we were going to be Pam and Rick? Oh, you missed it. We were going to be Pam and Rick, and I bought the sweatshirt and a blonde wig, and we got you we were going to do it, but it didn't work out. It would have been a couple of years ago because Pam and Rick haven't been on in probably almost 2 years now, right?
It's been a couple of years. Every once in a while, they try to make a comeback, and it just doesn't work.
But not a good while. Okay, Presley. I'll tell Presley in a second. Maybe she can hear it. Presley, Trisha Paytas, her thumbnail from today, like she goes all out at Halloween. They did the thing where she was Priscilla Presley and Moses was posed as Presley, and they had the baby, that one really, really famous photo of Lisa Marie and Priscilla and Elvis when she had the black bouffant hairstyle where she's holding Lisa Marie and Elvis is like looking over. They had the same, they recreated the clothes and everything. It did. Yeah. The second I saw it, I was like, oh, and then the other one was from some show, Wonderland or something. She was the Queen of Hearts. And then he was supposed to be the, someone will know, some character, like when he was Jafar or whatever. But then it was, I don't know.
Jafar?
Someone will know. Let me show you.
That was like Aladdin or something like that.
I'm going to show you. Let me show you. Mm-hmm. She's now the Macman family or whatever. I don't know how to spell that, but let me see. But anyway, she looked really cute. Trisha Paytas is in a really good place, I have to say.
That's cool. Because wasn't she kind of depressed like right after she had the baby?
This is it right here. Let me show you. See that? That's Elvis in that famous picture. And then look, you guys, do you know, so hopefully it focuses. People go like this and it works. So you can see the one where they're posing like Elvis and Lisa Marie. And then the other one is she's Alice, the baby's Alice. She's the Queen of Hearts, and he's something else. And it's from one of those TV shows, that Wonderland or whatever. Someone will know. Someone can keep us up to date, because I don't know like who it is. But the Elvis, the one where they recreated that picture, that one was cool.
It does look good.
It always messes up our color after I do that.
Because when we do this.
Yeah, but does that fix it?
I don't know. Your hat looks different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It kind of like redid our colors or whatever. Anyway, a lot of people, she was taking a whole lot of hate for a while when the whole H3 podcast thing blew apart. And then it seems like the baby thing has saved her reputation.
Val is asking me about Tennessee. Val, who does Tennessee play this week? Do you know?
Do you know?
I know.
They play the Falcons?
Tennessee, the orange team, the college team.
They play Georgia.
We'll see, Val, right here on Saturday in Athens.
Did you hear me, Presley, talk about what that Trisha Paytas was?
I mean, they've already beaten Alabama this year. Tennessee has. So when you look at things at the beginning of the year, you know Alabama's going to be good. And then recently in the last couple of years, you know Georgia's good. And then we try to see who else is going to be good. Every year there's one or two other teams in the SEC. And this year it's Tennessee. They're really good.
You think they'll win?
Well, it's 1 against 2. Georgia's 1, Tennessee is 2.
Okay.
So,
yeah, they are projected, Georgia's projected to win. I heard that on the radio today.
oh yeah, it'll be a good game. And I think it's, I mean, look, I'm a Georgia fan, so I'm not really allowed to like Tennessee or Florida or Alabama. But
I'll show you. Hold on one second, Presley.
You can't deny that Tennessee is good.
They are good, but all the
Val, you got a house divided. What are you, Georgia and Tennessee, or what do y'all got going on?
Let me show her. You can keep talking. I'm going to show Presley this thing. She missed it. I'm going to show you what Trisha Paytas and Moses were for
But that
for
makes
Halloween.
sense what you showed me, though. I see.
You see it? Okay,
Yeah.
look. Presley, look at this. She's Priscilla Presley and he's Elvis, and that's supposed to be Lisa Marie. They recreated that picture. Isn't that cool? She was given there you go. He's
So Val
Georgia.
says I'm Tennessee and he's Georgia. Well,
Do you
you
have one
got
of
your
those-
good man.
Do you have
That's
one of
a
those
good man
wreaths
right
that
there.
go on the door that half of it's Tennessee and half of it's Georgia? Isn't that a cool costume, Presley? I think it's super cool. I could make Sawyer Lisa Marie. Sean could be Elvis. His lips kind of curl like Elvis does. And then maybe that's a costume for next year.
Maybe.
Isn't it cool though? It was really cute.
One of these, probably next year, we're going to have to do something. You know,
We
like
need to do something creative.
maybe I'll call in sick next Halloween.
I know.
I was already, because I'm off tomorrow, but I was already, man. It was going to be, I need you to work tomorrow. I was going to say no. And if they say, well, you got to come to work, I was going to be like, I'm sick.
Yeah. They let him be off though. Hey, Nelson, how are you? Happy Halloween. Nelson, did you have lots of trick-or-treaters or not so many? It's kind of turning into a thing of the past. People aren't, as comfortable as they used to be letting their kids go trick-or-treating. Hey, Arlene, I remember there was like probably a false sense of community, of security on like army posts because when it hits trick-or-treating time, every kid on post is out.
And they a lot of times let you go home early to do it too.
Yeah. And so we had shitload. I just sat on my front steps. I'm gonna tell a funny story about myself in a second, but when trick-or-treating time hit, every kid on post is out, like whatever. And you didn't see any porch lights turned off. You really didn't. You didn't see, everybody kind of came together and did the deal.
And it was the one time when the wives were kind of allowed to go, can you come home about a couple hours early and do this? And most commanders were like, all right, we're going to have formation at 1600 so that you can get home. And
they do the safety briefing, drive slow, whatever. But nobody was driving because the streets were full of kids.
I know.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's another reason they let people off early is that get home, get off the street.
So the last Halloween before I had my gastric bypass, I was handing out candy sitting on the front porch. And the day that I had surgery, I was about 320 pounds. So I was sitting in this chair handing out candy, and I went to lean forward because this whatever I thought to give it because someone didn't come close enough, and the chair had gotten stuck on my butt.
Uh-oh.
And then I was like, there was nobody there to pull it off, so I was like trying to get it back on. So that's what I'm saying. I laugh at that shit all the time. I laughed at the time. Yeah. But it was like trying to get it.
But you were a bigger girl back then, though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And then you go to sit, try to sit back down on it so you can hold it and do it or whatever. Big people problems, big girl problems.
Nobody came by and went, whoa, big girl.
No. I was like,
careful, big girl.
I think probably finally I was like, can someone help me get this off? It was like stuck or whatever. But so I just say I laugh at myself. That shit happens.
Yeah.
I think that was the same year we finally carved a pumpkin. We had never done it before, and the kids were like, I want to do it. You know, they'd never asked about it. I had never done it. That was disgusting.
Which one?
We carved a pumpkin. Like, we had never, my
I
kids had
never
never
liked
wanted
doing
to
that.
do it, and nobody had ever, like.
Never liked carving the pumpkin.
I will, Pink Life. I remember sitting there with a glass of wine on the porch while we were, like, doing this pumpkin, and once we got it open, I was like, well, what do you, I was like, you got to dig all that out? I guess I didn't know at that time it was full of stuff.
It's goopy, too. It's like goopy in the seeds.
And both of my kids were like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. So we just left it half carved and kept it moving.
But I will say that I like
you need to put a pillow behind your back, right?
roasted pumpkin seeds.
Oh,
I
I
like
do
them.
too.
I like
I
them.
like those too a
Yeah.
lot.
I'll get it.
I'll grab it. It's right there.
I'm gonna get it. I'll get it.
Put him behind your back.
Hey, look at him. Sawyer Brown. You're the brown.
We're actually paying to have him bathed and brushed tomorrow because bathing him is such an ordeal. He hates it.
Put it this way: if I go to get my hair cut tomorrow, all three of us are getting our hair did.
You should get your hair cut tomorrow.
Get a real one. I can go to that Persian barber.
They do like you. You should go there. But yeah, that was the first time I'd ever seen what was inside a pumpkin. I don't know how I made it to my 30s at that time and didn't know how that looked inside, but I was over it real quick. I was like, no, and we literally just left it half carved. You got all your running dead. Did they get all your leaves picked up, Presley? Did they, the people that came, did they get your yard squared away and picked up? The kids are so creative, love Halloween. Yes. You know, I was listening to the, when they were talking about the Georgia sports the other day, and they were talking about Halloween, and they'd asked a couple of the Georgia students that are on the UGA team what they were going to be for Halloween. One said that he was going to be an embryo, and the other one said he was going to be a zygote. And what was so funny is the announcers like had no freaking clue. I mean, the embryo they kind of got, but were confused. But the zygote, they were like, do you know what a zygote is? And the co-announcer was like, no, I don't know what that is.
They're clearly like biology majors or whatever.
Something like that. But a zygote isn't that, so an embryo, I know what that is. A zygote, isn't that the very, very first stage of conception?
I don't know. Who knows?
Someone will know. Someone will know. Good. I'm glad the yard looks good, Presley. Doesn't it feel good? Like, you know, hubby was like, couldn't do it, and she couldn't do it. Her back's hurting her. But doesn't it feel good? Like, it's, I know it costs money, but we always felt good, like, when they would be done and blow it off and then, like.
Well, I mean, see, we're doing the YouTube thing, so, you know, this is the only time that
go.
Mr. Green Jeans gets this, you know, he goes back away for another year.
Hey, let it go. They had hundreds of trick-or-treaters.
Wow.
Did the candy hold out? That's always the thing. What about remember when the people would do the On Your Honor candy bowl because they weren't home?
That thing would be like empty within the first 15 minutes.
I think my son was guilty of being like.
Sometimes they'd take the whole bowl. You'd come
That's
back
what I'm saying. And the bowl would be gone. Yeah. I used to do it like a couple times when we lived on Discovery when we'd be going to my aunt's house.
Yeah.
Because I made the goodie bags. I think Jude was talking about that. Jude does that too. I would make the actual goodie bags that you hand out a bag to each person or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And
so did you put like goodie bags all out on the porch and then leave them?
Like 1 year I did, handed out, hey, for the grandkids and told them to divide a candy. There you go. Hey, Ricky.
Hey, Ricky, that your comment wasn't held for review.
I know, the first time. But I would buy those, like at Target, I would get those packages of like the fake teeth and all of that kind of stuff. And I'd put one of those or a bouncy ball or whatever, and then I'd put a pretty good amount of candy in it and tie it up, and one for each kid. But if we were going to my aunt's house, like I was saying, I would put a bowl out and it would say, take one, please, just one. And I would ask the neighbor the next day, how long do you think it held out? And they were like, the second kid that came by.
I mean,
you have to, you got to come up with something else to say, Mama Ricky, and I bet you it'll get held.
I know.
We always know when she's here because it's like.
Yup.
Look at that.
Much love to you, too.
It's like, it's not bad, but I'm not used to the carbonation.
It's gonna wake you up though.
Well, I'm not. I'm glad. I thought I got it on my show. Oh, I
Just
did
got
just a little bit.
Can I rub that?
Can you? No. You know you can. If nobody's
No,
like good.
it'll get us struck.
You think it will? I guess
Maybe.
kissing gets people struck.
I heard that.
Here's another question I have.
What's that?
So today, when all this Lucy Ball stuff was going on and stuff, and there was a video or a couple videos that came up, and I guess it was because of the search criteria or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them I was watching, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that this had happened with this one too or whatever. And I'm watching, I'm like, wait a minute. And I looked and it was like 2 years old. But you know how the search results come up?
Oh, yeah.
So you think that it's like current, but it's, so you think there's another beef going on.
No, but you sent me like whatever that comment was.
Issues.
You know, like.
Oh, she left it for Randy.
Like just under the stream or whatever?
No, it was her community page. That was her response.
Man, I wonder if she was drinking.
I don't know. I was very good. I didn't say anything about that. I didn't say, is it a possible? I was very good. I didn't say that that's most likely what happened. This is dry mouth gum, and I'm not finishing that Red Bull. Jamie's on ready for, aw.
Well.
We didn't want to miss tonight. We wanted to stop by and hang out.
Oh. When does the game start?
I'm not going to
there's actually 2 games on. There's Monday Night Football and there's baseball. Yeah. And it's Halloween.
So that's why we were like, we'll do a short one, but we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Look, here's Sawyer Brown. Come here.
Come here, Sawyer Brown.
He's doing his jump and run. No, come here.
Come here. He's got his toy.
He's got his toy.
Let me see it.
I'm not going to chomp on this, but it helps with dry mouth. So, there he is. Say hello, Sawyer.
I'm Sawyer Brown. I'm the Brown.
He's going to get a bath, and they're going to trim. I'm going to have them trim his face up a little bit, but the rest of his length is fine. I like the length of his paws. He's like a little Clydesdale. I'm outside your window. Let me in. Look. Speaking of, something spooked Scout earlier. I think it might have been someone outside the window, like a trick-or-treater. That cat I've never seen run so fast, went under the bed, still hasn't come out.
This yours?
Oh, I thought that was, hold on. Hey, look outside your window. I'm on the outside. I'll let you in if you're out here, Presley. He's going to play fetch. Right?
Yes.
So what are we going to do? We should go to Waffle House for breakfast.
You want to do that tomorrow?
We always do, but then we sleep late.
There's a couple of things that, okay, so she's going to go, or maybe we'll do it together. I've got to go get the tags for our car because I'm never off on a weekday. The last weekday that I was off, I had a colonoscopy, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could drop me off at the hair place and then go do it.
Either that or I send you on your way and I go on my way and we rendezvous.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, I don't hope it doesn't take 3 hours to get my hair done.
Look at him.
I'm gonna have them put like some like maroonish color low lights.
What? Maroon?
My war paint. I call it that too. No, like a coppery maroon color.
Okay.
Like just a few of them or whatever.
My favorite picture. Where's my favorite picture?
Well, tell me what color it was.
It was blonde. Remember
Oh, the
one?
Georgia one?
Yeah, where's that at?
I think it's in your office. That would be a good one to tunize or whatever. Tunerize. I think that's what they had done though, Sean. I think I had red put in it.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
All I remember is and that picture was taken at the mall.
But it looked like we were at a stadium.
I know.
It was the second time you came?
I think so.
Because it was the second time you came.
Once we decided you were going to get me a phone, remember?
Is that what we did that day?
Yeah, we went to the mall and that's when we got the phones. So it was in.
Oh, I didn't know that. And then I ran across to the Buckle. Remember that?
Yeah, because it took him like 2 hours to get my phone.
And we were trying to because he didn't have that many clothes because he left in a Mustang. But I ran to the Buckle when they were closing or whatever. He gave me his card and I ran over there and I said, I think at that time you needed a 38-34.
Yeah.
Or maybe whatever. And I went and I said, how fast can you grab me 2 pairs of jeans, relaxed fit, 38-34s?
And
do you know
shoes.
they can do it in shoes?
A belt and shoes.
And they did it. And I was like, okay. And Sean's like, oh, you did it. And I didn't tell him the prices at the buckle. But you still have those jeans. No, you still have those jeans. And I think you still have the shoes too. It was a clean break. I was like, I need you to take this account and break it off from this account. And I didn't think they would do it. And they were like, yeah, they did it. And so then it branched off. And then I added him to this one. And then that one stayed.
We can't be the only people that go through a divorce and, you know, like all kinds of stuff. Like I had to tell the auto insurance. I was like, they need to have their own policy. She needs to have her own policy. And they were like, well, they can do that. So you did it with the phone.
There you are. Yes, we did. We did it with the phone. He does that to me all the time. And now I'm going to make him sit with me because he did it. I'm going to make him sit with me. Look at him. But yeah, so when we split it in half though, did you get the promotion of getting a phone? Or did you take my old phone? Because I had just switched to an iPhone.
I think you got me a phone, or we got me a phone. I didn't know anything.
It was the iPhone 10, right? That was what was out at the time.
Because what kind of phone did I have, Mandy?
It's iPhone 6, right?
An iPhone 6.
And you'd had it for a while.
Yeah. Now I had an iPhone 5, like, and then I got the iPhone 6 I hadn't had that long. I'd had it for about maybe 9 months or so.
Then where'd you get that?
I got it like right before I left.
But they
North
weren't
Carolina.
even like that. iPhone 6 hadn't been out.
You could still get them in like Walmart.
Really?
Yeah, like an iPhone.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I had a phone when I worked at the convenience store.
It was a straight talk phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we
that
changed
makes
it
sense.
over.
That
yeah.
makes sense. Okay.
So like Walmart has iPhones that are like a couple versions older if you buy straight talk with it. The phone I had before that, I think I told you, it was like an iPhone 5, and I had the battery was completely dead, so I had to keep a charger hooked to it all the time.
And I said, that didn't bother you at all? And he was like, that was just that's just...
It was pretty sad in hindsight. I'd go to work and there'd be like this whole setup, like, you know, so there would be like a register and there'd be stuff. Then you'd see my phone and then the wires and then a charger. And I kept an extra charger in my car so that I would have like one charger being recharged and one charge on it was sad.
But I mean, it worked, right?
Yeah, but
as long as you kept it, you couldn't unhook it at all and it would break?
No, it would just go out. It had like maybe 5 minutes of juice and it would go out. And
like a laptop?
You couldn't change the battery out of those. That was it. Your battery was just dead.
You can't change batteries anymore, which is weird.
No.
And now I don't think they have SIM cards either.
You don't have to change SIM cards, but the rule for mailing stuff is you cannot mail lithium batteries, but you can mail a battery if it's in whatever you're mailing, a phone, they're in the phone. Like if you have a laptop, you can mail the laptop with the battery in the laptop, but you cannot mail like a spare battery. You're not allowed to do it.
So what happens if you have to order a battery? UPS has to bring it or something?
Something like that. And the whole thing is it has to go ground because it can't go in the air.
So do you ask the question, is there anything liquid, did it
potentially?
Yes. You have to verbally ask it?
If I go up there, I'm like, hey, how's it going? They're like, blah, blah, blah. I says, is there anything liquid, fragile, perishable, or it's liquid, fragile, perishable, flammable?
And do they say yes?
I hope not.
They're like, it's a tremendous amount of marijuana. So it is flammable.
They're like, okay. And
it's potentially hazardous.
It's perishable. And
I didn't know that. I thought now it's just on the screen when you go to the kiosk screen. I didn't know you still had to ask.
Do you have anything hazardous? Liquid, flammable, or fragile.
Apparently he doesn't work at the front very often.
And the fragile is we just put fragile stickers on everything. Everyone says, well, can you put a fragile sticker on?
What's if they're like, well, it's baby chicks?
Yeah, I mean, they come express though.
Okay, but can you, so if we took baby chicks, can we go to your post office and mail them?
Yeah.
See, I don't agree with that.
Yep.
I don't agree with that. But it is what it is.
Yep. Most people,
especially in the wintertime, I don't agree with it.
Presley's like, yes. Most of the chicks that they mail are from like McMurray, Hoover. There's like 4 different hatcheries that are real famous, and they just they must just have chickens. I mean, they just have all kinds of baby chicks, all different kinds, all in the farm, and someone orders them, and they.
We're gonna order eggs.
We're
gonna order silky eggs, right?
You want to do silkies? I want to do barred rocks.
Well, can't you put all the eggs in one incubator?
Together. Yeah, you can.
And the incubator's like it just turns them and stuff.
Some of them don't even turn them. Some of them because the mama sits on the eggs. She doesn't mess with them or anything.
Did you know that you left? Oh my gosh! Did you know that you left that fake egg out in the grass?
It's still out there.
Every time I walked by it, the chickens would look at it and keep walking. They're like, whoever laid this.
Chickens haven't laid an egg yet, man.
But we have the fake one, so he finally just didn't even want to put them back in yesterday because it's so whatever. So the chickens would, do I sit on it? And they're like, no, it's fake. Like, just humor the guy. Just humor him. They're going to. The big red one is going to lay an egg soon. I have faith. Okay?
That was the original Full Throttle I was drinking there.
I'm going to.
Levi says, can you leave the chat up?
Sure.
Yeah.
It should be up right now.
Is there something wrong?
Well, she might. I normally leave it up.
Is it not up?
Is it working? I buy organic eggs from the guy who delivers them, but the shells are paper thin. Really? Huh.
If the shells are paper thin, it's that. Oh.
Thank you, Presley. You're so
thank
amazing.
You.
Thank you. Yay, chicken stuff.
We can get chicken.
Thank you.
An
really,
incubator.
You're so cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Presley.
That's half the incubator. That might be what we go by. When one of those bad boys sits down in the nesting box and lays an egg, Sean is going to be like,
I might quit my job.
Yes.
I might quit my job. I might be like,
and I always forget
there's no reason for me to work again. And they're going to be like, what are you doing? My chicken's laying eggs.
The little black silky, the one that he hangs in there. He's not sick or anything, but he is smaller, way smaller than Ozzy was. But the rest will go run back to wherever to go forage. And he hangs back sometimes, even his other little silky friend. But Tiny stays by him. And today when I went to go find him, because they all ran over there to eat, and I'm like, and I went to the other side of the shed.
He was on a complete other side of the yard.
Just, kind of, oh my gosh. Thank you, Presley.
Well, there's the incubator.
It might have been a double. Thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you. No, we are. We're going to order eggs, and now we got an incubator. It's a nice incubator, too. That you got us the premium one.
Yeah, we got it. And guess what?
He was bopping around, talking to himself, and Tiny's like, can you help me out here? But Tiny stayed by him. It was so sweet.
So I think we're going to
Thank you for real, Presley. You're such a blessing.
I think the first egg that hatches is going to be named Presley.
I think so, too.
I think so.
When we talked on the phone today, her real name is obviously her real name. I know it is, but
ho, ho, ho.
Presley. I know. Thank you, Presley. The name sticks, and now when I see her, that's the name I think of as Presley. But she's obviously got a real name that's not Presley. We could
name them both. We can name one.
Yeah, we have Tiny shut away because my husband doesn't want to hurt his feelings. Lately, I buy the egg selling guy. You don't want to hurt his feelings. The one that you brought that had been laid that someone brought in, those were all different sizes and types.
Yeah, they're all different kinds, and they're so good.
And they're not shitty eggs. They're not shitty chickens. They lay eggs.
And this is the thing I don't ever share with you because I just kind of sit there and just keep my business. People are always bringing their chicken eggs in and giving them to everybody. There's people I didn't even know have chickens.
Okay, Levi.
They don't even. We'll
leave it up.
They don't even know, we're always talking about chickens, or I am with a few other people. There's people that have chickens, and they're not even part of the conversation. And then there's 24 eggs sitting out, and they're like, whose are those? And they're like, oh, they're Christy's. Christy has chickens? Yeah, she's got some chickens. And she never even talks about it. And there's literally 24 eggs.
It's so cute. Sean will be out there and be like, when are y'all going to lay an egg? And they're like, when you lay an egg.
Yeah,
you lay an egg, and I'll lay one too.
We lay eggs when we want to. We're only 6 months old, Jack.
But the other one he's got to be pushed. No, he's not a year old. Big Red's not a year.
She's like 8 months old, 8 or 9 months old.
Yeah, she's not. I came up with it. Her name is Reba.
Because she's red.
But today it was like, I call her this all the time. And not the other name that we thought about, but I was like, I'm always calling her this. I need to tell Sean that that's kind of what I call her.
Reba?
No, it's something else. It'll come to me. But because she comes right up to the front door, and it's probably
But is it like a redheaded name? The name of a redhead or something?
Probably. Do you guys? I gotta post this. The deer that we feed were fighting today.
Yeah.
They were okay. So they also make like they would come up to eat. There was a bunch of them. And then one of them makes a really loud noise.
Like a bleat.
To like scare the others away. And I think this is what I think. I think that it's two does. Their young ones are with them and they're fighting it out for like to make sure theirs can have I want ducks. We want ducks. I was like, when we get a fence, we're getting ducks.
We get ducks when we get a fence.
But yeah, so it was like they were fighting, like hoofs in the air, fighting. Then one was stomping, but they looked to be both does because they're big enough that they would have like the nubs or whatever, but they didn't. And so the noise is so loud, it's almost like a firecracker going off. You know what I mean? Like we thought it might have like.
That's them doing that?
Yeah, because at one point I was like, is that a gunshot? I was like, someone better not be shooting our deer in our front yard. I mean, whatever. I'm not protecting. I know hunting season, but don't shoot them in our yard. We're here.
Look,
so
in the back.
He's scared. Look at him. What scared you, Scout? He's still creeping around. But so I'm going to put those videos up because I'm curious to know any of you who have experience with like hunting season and things like that, if you can look at it and tell me that, well, no, because I don't think there's any males there that I can tell. The little fawns maybe, I don't know. I'll zoom in on it and post the video like when we get off. And hey, Crazy Daisy, and
Crazy Daisy,
you can tell me what y'all think as far as what was going on because it was interesting. They were getting aggressive, but it's becoming the season when they lose their minds.
Yeah.
Right now, the bucks are at the gym pumping iron, taking their testosterone.
When she told me that
it's almost
they were fighting, I thought that it was maybe a couple of spikes or a couple of little males fighting.
Yes, very hot.
But they might have been. But normally when they're that big, they'll have little horns by then. So.
I can pull it up in our text message. Did you see the one where they reared up on their... Do y'all want to see it or not?
Did they actually rear up on their hind legs and all that?
Yeah, I sent it to you.
I didn't see that one.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me pull it up real quick. Gotta go through all of your... This is it right here. All of your...
But it doesn't get big.
Not if you go... You gotta save it. So look. You tap that icon next to it and it saves it.
All right.
And then you go back over here.
Getting a lesson in here.
And then you do like this and you do like that. Let me close that. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, look. Hold on.
Wow, they did go up like that.
And you'll hear them do that loud noise in a second. Okay, so that one...
Did you guys see that?
That was one of them. And then... I thought, like, at first, I thought they were being possessive, like, when I was out there with them.
For the food, you mean?
Yeah, or almost like it was... Yeah, it was weird. And then this one... This is... You hear that noise? That was a dog, but listen.
That sounded like something.
That's what I'm saying. That sounded like a gunshot.
Yeah.
Anyways, is when we already could see it.
Because Tiny didn't even...
That makes... Okay, very hot. So...
What did she say?
She was talking about the testosterone. Yeah. I was joking about they take testosterone when it's the rut, but...
Right, but those didn't... I didn't think those were males, though.
I don't know. I'm going to post it, Drama Deer. That's what I said. I go,
mid-year.
they need to be in our community. They clearly do. They got along until a few days ago. Hey, Black
Yeah,
Dragon.
but that they found out that Lucy Ball was talking to Tam
So that did sound like a gunshot. I don't know if that's what it was or not, but I would hate to think that someone in one of the houses behind us is seeing the deer and literally shooting them when they're in our yard.
I don't think they're doing that.
At least,
well, they're a terrible shot if they were.
But entice them over that way if you need to, and then do whatever. Because I know I'm whatever, but is mating season when they get aggressive. Yeah, they get.
But do even the does get aggressive with each other? That's my thing. Because I know you guys remember, we have a big old 12.
There you go. Males and females are territorial.
Because that's what they're doing then. Because maybe that was a different doe that came out to eat.
I don't know. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put them together. There's 5 videos. No, I didn't see that one. There's 5 videos. I'm gonna put them all together and post it because I was kind of in disbelief. I know when I'm hoping that big 8-point buck comes back.
Like a 12-point buck.
Yeah,
is what it is. He's huge. He's got a big old rack. I always tell the joke. He comes up here and he goes like, "Ladies, my eyes are down here. Stop looking at my rack."
But it was funny because it was on a Sunday. I could like choose. Oh, okay, like a pecking order. Okay. Well, they're enforcing it now where they weren't before.
I think it's because it's that cherry stuff.
They're possessive over it. When the one came last year on a Sunday, he was at work, and I said, "Oh, look, this one has horns." And I sent
and I was like, "Oh, how cute!" And then she sends me a picture.
I was like, "Look, it's got little horns."
And it's huge. You guys remember that? Yeah, I was like, Mandy, first of all, keep the dog in.
I was like, "Why?"
Guys, hold on, I have to find that too.
And he had a black. Now, let me tell you something. If one of those comes crawl out of the forest with their antlers shedding, like it looks like something out of a horror movie, I'm gonna barf right there. And that's gonna be it. No more feeding deer because Sean showed me a picture of it. It's disgusting.
You know when they they molt?
It's awful. It's disgusting.
These were like, I don't know if I can find it.
It would have been in November of last year.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it.
You're gonna find it? Mm-hmm. You got it. Oh, there's Toothless Desiree.
Toothless Desiree. Oh my god.
But anyways, so I didn't know anything about it, so I didn't know when I sent him the picture that it was something, whatever.
Guys.
He had 5 girls though. Since it's also fall, they instinct to know if food will soon. Oh, okay. Go you, Berry Hot. How about that? So do we need to do like more than one bowl? The guys pee and the does come along and see, I'm into that too. I mean, that's what Sean did. Sean was like, "Let me just pee in the corner," and I was like, "Oh yes," and I was attracted to it, and that's how that worked.
But that's that's something that I learned from living out.
Berry Hot. It's the pictures are, woo. I know it doesn't hurt them or anything, but it's just repulsive looking.
Look at this thing, guys.
You want to go to the haunted house tonight? You do still have it. Look at that. It looks like he's wearing a gas mask.
Yep.
That was last November. Right? Let it go. But no, that haunted house, the Gates of Hell, it's open tonight. You want to go to the haunted house, the Gates of Hell?
You said you don't like them.
I run the whole way through it.
Yeah, we're not doing that then.
Okay. Get some sleep, Presley. Kiss the puppy for me. Tell Bella I said hello. Thank you again. Yep, that
was good size of that.
Never saw him after that. That was the one and only time.
That's beautiful.
Something terrible, the blood supply retracts. Okay, it itches them something terrible, however, the blood supply retracts. Okay. So anyway. I guess it's anybody's guess whether or not he made it through last season, right? Me too, that's what I'm saying. Good. Night, Presley. Thank you again.
There's a guy that lives about a mile away. He lives in the next subdivision. It's a real bougie subdivision called Riverwalk, and it goes down by the river.
And he'd seen it?
We were talking about the bear. That he said there's a bear down there. And I said, yeah, we haven't seen the bear up here. The bear has since been up here. But
maybe that's what
he said. I said, well, we got about a 12-point buck. He said, is it the one with the black face? And I was like, yes. And he goes, yeah, I've seen him down there too.
Hopefully he made it out last year and he's still kicking because we haven't seen him yet.
Well, we're not going to see him until he comes and
Here's the other. Now the
He's
color
gonna sort.
went back.
He's gonna sort all those does out, guys.
That's another question I
show up
have.
and he's
Since
like,
Berry Hot, since you apparently know something, how many times can they,
Mate.
well, specifically unload in one day? Do they like hold back some and so they can give it to everybody?
He can like 4 or 5 a day, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like,
He can go. Yeah, he can just go and just walk around because that one, for whatever reason, he's lived to be as big as he is. So I think he goes all over the place.
they mate all day long for a few weeks. Wow. So then maybe they store it in the off season.
But like,
and
I
then
mean, like he's got like 6 or 7 does though.
and
that
then
are all
he
walking around with
never
them.
he never knows they mate till exhaustion. Well, I know how that is. They don't. But here's the thing. So then, how long is the gestation that they carry the babies? And do the bucks, are they anywhere nearby while they're pregnant? I know, right?
So what I know is that what I've heard. So there's a couple little spikes that are around, right? You know, they just have the little, like there was one that was like a little 4-pointer that would come out. I hear he'll run those off.
Oh, really?
Like they hang out with their moms for a couple years, but then when they start to come of age, he'll beat them up and make them go off on their own.
Even if it's his offspring.
I think so.
Oh, that's interesting. I was wondering because they've seen it. So does the buck just make that 8-point buck or whatever? Does he just make his way through the woods and never come out until the rut?
I think so.
And what does he eat? Just the grass?
I mean,
and
he's
stuff?
wherever he lives, you know.
But he's never come out for our food.
He did last year though.
No, we didn't feed him.
Well, why
We didn't
was
even
he
have
there?
the chicken
You
thing
didn't even know
No.
the females were around, right?
The females, there was 5 females between across the street and right there, and he was just chilling, eating some grass. We didn't have the chicken coop then. We didn't have any plants. We didn't have any of it. 190 to 200 day gestation. So 180 is 6 months. So
Yeah,
about
6.5 months.
And then they're like, "Who's your baby daddy?" Oh,
Yeah.
he's that,
So
that buck over.
That's what they say because like the rut is in November.
Can they
and
have
the babies
twins?
are born in May.
Can they have twins?
I don't know.
See, these are all. Do they drink milk? I don't think they do. Do they?
No, and the bears
They
can
should
have like
drink milk.
bears can have like 3 or 4 cubs at a time.
Do
I know
they?
that.
If they're mammals, they should drink milk, right? Isn't that the way it works? All mammals drink milk from their mother.
I guess, are they mammals?
I think they're mammals. They breathe.
So is a cow a mammal?
But you never see a deer nursing its young. It delivers it and then it kind of staggers and it starts
Yeah,
walking.
it teaches it how to
Specialized
like
in birds
eat.
and reptiles, but I know. Oh, very cool, very hot. So that's, you know about chickens too. Fawns born in the spring.
Yeah.
Do they nurse their young?
So Let It Go says that buck comes up and says, back that ass up.
Literally.
Right?
Yes. So they do feed milk. Okay.
But yes, they can have twins. That's what.
Okay. That's probably more complicated
not,
though,
yeah.
right? That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. They nurse their young. Okay. Anything that breathes, I believe, no, reptiles don't. Anything with a warm-blooded mammal, I think nurse them.
Marsupials don't.
Whales nurse their young.
Yeah, but marsupials don't. Like those
At
are
a
the
kangaroo?
what's a marsupial?
Kangaroo.
The platypus.
A platypus.
The platypus, right?
Isn't that extinct?
What's the marsupial, guys?
The platypus isn't that the platypus? Isn't that the thing that was way back during the dinosaur days?
I don't know. Someone better tell us. So it's like
We like to fancy ourselves to be the platypus doesn't. Okay, so
See?
come to me, Big Daddy. Yes, let it go.
He's
That
like-
big buck says, back it up.
Yep.
And can what if the females say no? Do they?
I think it's a
they're
totally
already
different set
pregnant-
of rules. This is all different set of rules. He just takes what he wants.
but
man.
what if she's already pregnant?
He's like, look at my rack.
It's down here.
Look at my rack. Look at my rack.
I know with the eggs remain in the pouch. Okay. I know with roosters, Karen knows this firsthand. They come up and they like spread their wing one time to show the female how pretty they are. And if she doesn't lower herself, he's like, we try to do it the nice
We
way.
can do this. Yeah.
That's why we always like, they don't have game.
No, they don't.
And Tiny is not interested in females. So there's that. And he's definitely of age.
That might be why we don't have any eggs.
I don't think those Americanas or those Brahmas would let him do anything with them.
Why?
They take off running. They're not interested in that. They just like to eat and run.
They're little. They're little.
Well, we'll see. That's our flock, though. Every once in a while, we have to scare them back onto our property. Right?
That's true.
They do what they want to do.
I can't seem to get this to work right.
Well, you're supposed to go back to... Yeah, there you go. Did y'all like our Abby? Did you like our new, like... I did that, like, after Sean fell asleep last night. I was playing with the Tune Me app. And I made that thumbnail with it. I'm trying to think if there's any other pictures of us I can use. Because, you know, sometimes those Tune Me apps don't work. They make you look crazy. An inch, they crawl up to the pouch with strong front legs, and they attach permanently to the nipple. Oh!
Permanently?
That's interesting. That's very interesting.
So, like, they just eat that way?
Well, they're like an inch when they're whatever, and they go in the pouch, and then I guess they're
attached
to a nipple.
And then when they get big enough, they come out?
They jump, yeah. I think they do until they release. Okay. Platypuses are indigenous to Australia, Tasmania. Okay. I'm wrong. They're not dinosaurs. Pterodactyl. That's what I was thinking.
They're
pterodactyl.
Birds, dude. They're birds. They're
what
like
about a
bird
Yeti?
family. The Yetis are out there. There are Bigfoot. Very hot.
That's
Do
interesting.
you believe in Bigfoot?
That's a good question. Do you believe?
Because I believe there's Bigfoot out there.
Ever since Sean's been lobbying for the existence of this, I've noticed that a lot of cars in this area have the little silhouette.
Crazy Daisy says I do.
But here's the thing. Then why is it that me who doesn't believe doesn't happen? I mean, if I caught sight of one, then I would be a believer. How come only the believers can see him? Pterodactyl is a dinosaur type bird. And yes, I believe in the Yeti.
Yes.
Okay, now Berry Hot.
I think so.
If the Berry Hot and Daisy, was that
no,
the
I
one
mean,
that said it?
yeah,
If they believe in it.
No, but I mean,
Okay,
I think, but there's different species, right? They're the Yetis, and then there's Sasquatches, and they're in different parts, and they have different hair. But I do believe that there's a particular reason that they're there, you know, where they stay. I think that they're not just wild animals. You know, I think that there's a reason why. But
they walk upright.
They walk upright, yep.
And do they speak, or do they grunt, or what do they do?
Different thoughts. They howl, and they do communicate.
Okay.
Like if they don't want you at a certain area, or people, they make noises and stuff like
You're
that.
about to win. You're about to win whatever that is.
About to win.
Okay. Then that makes sense. I'm from Seattle, and I believe they are in the PNW. Pacific Northwest. Bigfoot and aliens. Oh, Bigfoot are aliens.
Some people think that. So if you look up, there's a huge, where we live, not right in Dawsonville, but in like Ellijay and in Blue Ridge, which are more rural towns that are north of here, there are supposedly been, I mean, it's a huge hotbed for like anybody who believes and searches for them. They come here. There's, you can type it in, you can Google it, North Georgia Bigfoot, and you'll see. It's like, Ellijay is probably like 40 miles from here. And
okay, so Google Eyes discovered mammal. We'll see that Alaning was okay. I'll work on that. Was just discovered a couple of years ago, and it's a medium-sized mammal. They discover new mammals yearly in the wild. Oh,
see.
Do you know what I saw on the outside? I didn't get a picture of it. It was like a moth. It was during the day. It was the moth, but it had like furry, almost like a spider. It had these furry. Almost like little arms and a head, but it was white like a moth at the back.
Yeah, they have those.
What is that?
It was right outside the door, right?
Yeah, what is it,
It was like about this big.
But
it's just a moth. It's a kind of moth.
It's like a cross between a moth and a spider is what it looks like.
Something like that. So if you're ever in the military and you're laying on the ground, like you spend a lot of time literally laying in the prone position for whatever reason, you know, you're on guard duty or you're practicing or you're doing whatever, you'll find yourself looking like your face is a foot from the actual earth, whatever it is, pine needles or, you know, whatever the dirt is. You will see stuff that you will never see if you're just like up walking around up here. Just because you're sitting there, you stay still and they come walking by. And I've seen insects and bugs that were like, I've never seen them like that.
Wow.
And it's, and I don't know why, but when I was in Alabama, in that area, there was a lot of them.
Wow.
So anyway, there's that.
That's interesting. I'd be curious to know what type of bug that is. That looks like a cross between a moth and a spider. I'm gonna type it looks like, and see if anybody else, and it's in Georgia, right?
Yeah, something like that.
The only thing that comes up in the search are those damn Joro spiders. Wait.
What is that thing?
That kind of looks like it.
That right there.
This is what it. Yeah, I think this is what it looks like. If y'all aren't insect lovers, I'm warning you now. But this is kind of what it looked like. You see that? It's like a moth with like legs on the front. I wasn't like scared of it, but it was creepy looking. Oh wait, no, this one.
That ain't it.
Anyway, I'll figure it out and I'll let you guys know. But yeah, it kind of looked like, kind of like this one.
Yeah, that's what it looked like, but it was white.
Like this one right here, and it was white. I don't particularly want to ever see it again. I mean, to be honest, but it is what it is. You have to when you live in the country, you have to get used to all kinds of bugs.
She's a country girl now. She's not a Texas girl no more.
I know. I do like living in the country. I'm definitely going to look up Georgia. Exactly. It's so strange.
You guys look up North Georgia Yeti or North Georgia Bigfoot. They're here. And if you look up where the article's from, like Blue Ridge or whatever, just go Blue Ridge to like Dawsonville. And that's how close we are to where they have like a Bigfoot museum even up there.
How interesting.
Yep.
Hold on. Moths won't bite you, but a katydid. I don't think I'm saying that right. A katydid.
Katydid, you said
does
it right.
bite. I found out from experience. I pick up everything. Oh wow. Hey Misty Lee, Bigfoot species live in the mountains as well as the cave systems and then run underground. Is a spider moth. Okay, so when allegedly, potentially, when Bigfoot's delivered, do they just like humans do? It comes out between their legs and they lay down because they walk upright.
I don't know anything about Bigfoot offsprings. I know that
do they squat?
There's pictures that they said now, like the pictures that people have captured of them. There's some that are smaller than others, and they say that that's like a juvenile Bigfoot, like a 5.5 or 6 foot. A 6 foot Bigfoot is like a juvenile, and they get to be like 8 feet tall.
Oh wow, they can play basketball.
And they said that you can see, yeah, and they said that you can see females. They have breasts, like the females have breasts.
And they nurse their young.
I don't know about that, but that they can't, like when you see them because they're upright across the chest, you can see boobs on some of them.
Well, he said boobs. Obviously, they don't wear clothes because they're hairy or don't feel like they need to, but they would do well not to eat an apple in anyone's garden, or they're going to realize they're naked and they're going to have to start wearing clothes.
That makes sense. Saying. Barry Hott says they probably do it like other animals, doggy style and stuff. That's what she just commented, and it makes sense. I know it's I think we're talking about.
She did say how I get what she's saying.
I know, but that's kind of like a scientific way. I mean, think about it. It's not like they have 4-post beds.
Well, that's what you got to think about. That would be the primitive position, would be like doggy style, I guess.
Right, because it's probably
they're not missionaries, so they can't. I mean, they don't know how to.
I don't know where they're not religious. Maybe they have like springs that are like hot tubs or whatever. But if you think about it, yeah, it.
All right.
They're just like anything else.
Are they hung?
I don't know.
I'm just kidding. That's a logical next question. I mean.
But I mean, like, I never really heard.
If they're 8 foot tall and Bigfoot, right, then it would come to reason that they'd be endowed.
Right, but I've never seen anything like, but there are definitely people that say you can see the boobs. I've never really heard somebody said that they saw the genitalia though.
Because there's hair.
Right, I guess.
But is
so I
it
don't
like
know.
pubic hair or is it like body hair?
There's hair all over them. They're all over their bodies.
This is all new to me.
Just like your ex-husband.
But if they have massive feet.
They're 8 feet
and
tall.
they're 8 feet tall.
Right.
And they're human-like in nature.
Right.
Then, just like Shaquille O'Neal. Do you know that one time someone legit asked Shaquille O'Neal if it was true about shoe size? Because he wears, a 14 or a 15?
He wears like a 19. He wears like a 19.
And they said, is it true that it's proportional to shoe size and hand size? And he looked down at his foot, and he looked at his hand, he went, mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my God. And his wife is tiny.
Yep. She's
He's tiny. Not skinny, but tiny.
Like 5'3" or 5'4", like a small girl. But the other thing about Bigfoots though, they said they can run fast. Like they can move. Like even if
right, Misty.
Like it doesn't have anything to do with how just because when you're really tall people don't run particularly fast.
Misty.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, the Bigfoots can.
She also believes they bury their dead. That makes sense.
Yeah, because so.
Is because
there's some. I did research, like when I'm up at night and I get into it, and I start looking at it. There are. They said that there's been Bigfoot that have been like trapped, and they will literally kill themselves trying to get out of the trap that they're in. That they would it's almost like they can't be taken, alive. So they either get out of the trap or they die trying to get out of the trap or something like that.
Can I tell you what Red Rum said?
What?
My hubs is 6'3" and wears a size 16 shoe, and then she put the.
Oh, so it is true.
Wow. I mean, I'm just. And do you want to know that? Because I searched for it. Because I'll admit, about the Shaquille O'Neal thing. Because it was on, and I was like, it's hot. And it was like the 85% most searched thing about Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Specifically about him.
He's 7'4". He's worth about $400 million, but everybody wants to know how big his wang is.
Would it be funny if it wasn't? His wife was like, yeah, well, it's whatever.
She's like, I'm 5'3". How's that
got
gonna
micro
work?
penis. And then she said, I'm 5'6". It's amazing.
Oh my God.
See, they always come out of the woodwork when we turn into freaks on this channel. They come out of the woodwork.
Yep.
But you are going to watch the game tonight, right?
Well, the game is probably about half over now. But I promise you, since I don't have to work tomorrow, so what I end up doing is staying up, watching sports and watching stuff while Mandi falls asleep. I'm going to do some more Bigfoot research, I think.
I think you should too.
I mean,
and if you get a chance to look up Shaquille O'Neal, you know how much he's probably been offered by Hustler to
probably.
I mean, he does every other commercial.
He's in the
Rich Life's Johnston. Rich Life. So let me ask you this before we go. So this is coming down because Halloween's over. Is it way too early for me? Because I've gotten the stuff already to decorate behind us for Christmas. Is it just way too early? Okay, do very hot. Send me. I'd love to hear it. Is it too early to do it for Christmas? But I'm like, are y'all wait for Thanksgiving to be over, or is it cool to go ahead and do that?
We could put a pilgrims and stuff behind us first for a little while.
Pilgrims.
Thanksgiving.
You can make the hand tracings that in Bible
turkeys.
School where it looks like a turkey.
But it was the pilgrims, right? Isn't it Thanksgiving first? Thanksgiving.
I don't think you're supposed to give any reverence to pilgrims and stuff anymore, because I'm quite serious. I think the politically correct thing is not to, because of what happened. I mean, I'm just saying.
I get that. I do get that, but okay.
They're saying it wasn't such a good thing that. Anyway,
they did.
It's
whatever. They did slaughter a lot.
That's
of
what
Indians,
they did.
yeah.
But they put down their arms and had Thanksgiving together. And I think that's important. That's noteworthy, I think. I'm not politically correct. I don't.
Not either. But anyway, Or maybe we can have Bigfoot back there. Like we're gonna take instead of Mr. Green Jeans, I'm gonna find a Bigfoot. I'm
Like
gonna
a
find
silhouette.
No, I'm sure there's signs out there.
Oh,
you know?
You're expecting family from Jordan. How cool is that?
You know, we're gonna find Bigfoot.
I was
Very Hot said yes, Bigfoot. We're gonna.
I
have Bigfoot.
was hold on, because I want to make a comment, a very scholarly comment about Jordan Pink Life. I didn't know anything about Queen Nora. Is she the one that married Queen Nora? Married Queen Nor. Yeah, Queen Nor, who was from the States with someone will say it. I watched a whole special on the love between her and King. Was it King Hussein? I think it was King Hussein. Hussein and Princess Nora or something. Yes. It was like his third wife. Not like at the same time, but it was very interesting. She was extremely intelligent. She was very there was a bit of an uprising when the Gulf War came about because
Really?
she was apparently Jordan and Iraq were fairly good allies.
Oh.
And then she made she is beautiful, some speech that smoothed things over because you had the United States who was
went over there and liberated Kuwait and all that.
Anyway, that was very scholarly of me, but I can't even remember anybody's name. Yeah, very respected, very did a lot with charities and things like that. And he passed away from cancer, and I think she kind of went into seclusion after that.
Whose family?
Okay, in Jordan, King Hussein.
No, but someone here in the chat.
Yeah, Pink Life. She says they're expecting family from Jordan for Christmas.
Okay, cool.
Very cool. Yeah. It's very interesting.
You met my cousin. My cousin is from Sri Lanka that married my cousin. And she's my cousin by marriage. She's Muslim. And when people, and she's when they say you're Muslim, they automatically assume it's Arabic. But she isn't. She's from Sri Lanka, which is...
Yeah, she's very, very, very intelligent.
She's a doctor.
Is she an anesthesiologist?
Something like that.
Yeah. But anyway, we had fun hanging out with you guys. We'll see what we do with the decorations. And thank you for sitting with us. Thank you, Presley. I know you went to bed. You can go out there. I'm thinking about what are you going to do if I'm like, let's go Bigfoot. I'm like, I'm open to it. Let's go do it. Not during the rut. We'll get shot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I guess you could do that anywhere.
There we go.
But right here, just where we are, just north, is supposed to be where there's a bunch of them, or that's where people see them. There's, I don't know what.
No problem. It was fun. You want to go to the haunted house?
No.
No, it's in it. Haunted houses, good ones, are $50 a person. Yeah. Screw that. Anyway, y'all have a good night.
Just for Mandi to go, and run through.
That's what I'm saying. You don't get your money's worth because all I do is take off running until I get to the end. So. And
we'll see you guys.
If there's fake doors, oh no, I'm pushing down walls and stuff to get out.
We're not wasting $100 doing that.
Have a good night, you guys. Bye.